Welcome back to the Barefoot German. This is my 2014 Yamaha Bolt. We're going to go take it for a ride. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Alright, so this bike has 47, around 50-ish horsepower. I think they claim it puts out 60 horsepower, but in reality, most people are getting around 50 horsepower to the wheels. It has about 60 pound-feet of torque, so it's got a fairly torquey engine compared to the rest of the bikes in its segment for its size. It's a 950cc engine. Now this segment is pretty interesting. There aren't too many options in this particular segment, I guess what they call a bobber segment. But there is Yamaha Bolt, the Kawasaki Vulcan S, the Sportster 1200 883, and then you've got the Indian Bobber and the Honda Rebel. Now the other one that really competes with this bike and the Honda Rebel would be the Honda Rebel 1100. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through a little bit how they compare to each other and why I chose this bike. So this bike is on the cheaper side in the category. The cheapest being the Kawasaki Vulcan S. That bike puts out around 60 horsepower, so more horsepower than this, with its 650 parallel twin. Now, the Vulcan S has, I think it starts at around $7,500, $7,900, $8,000. But the parallel twin that is in that is derived from its Ninja 650 parallel twin, which is very different. Let's just pull over here for a sec just to be safe. And because of that, the engine characteristics are a lot different. It moves a lot more like a sport bike. Well, not necessarily a sport bike, but it doesn't have the classic V-twin rumble that we're used to. But it's still a great offering. It just wasn't something that interested me. I wanted more of the classic cruiser feel. And then we get to the Yamaha Bolt, where it's producing around 50 horsepower, like I said, and 60 pound-feet of torque. But I chose it because it's got a certain level of reliability that I was comfortable with and I wanted. I just wanted this bike to be easy. I could throw a leg over it, start it, and just cruise. Not have to worry about it not starting up in the morning, or I mean, I guess the reason I got it compared to my last bike was a Ducati, and I was really I was really worried about it in the morning or just something going wrong with it on a random day. So I just got this because I knew it was reliable, I knew it would be easy, and if you can't tell, it's just simple. Look, it's for the speedometer, it's just got miles per hour and the trip. It doesn't even have a gear selector or a gas gauge. I wish it had a gas gauge, but it doesn't. But it's pretty simple. Light comes on and you have about 10-15 miles to go get fuel. It's got a 3.2 liter gas tank, so it gets about 50 miles to the gallon, which is probably fairly normal for anything in this segment, really. So, but I would say it comes in at around the second. It's the second option if you're starting from bottom to top on the bargain side of things. So it's the second cheapest bike. It starts at around $8,500. On the used market, you can get them anywhere from $3,500 to around $5,000. But they're great used bikes if you just want a cheap cruiser to roll around on, and they're really reliable. Low maintenance with the belt driven rear wheel. And I saw this one come up, and it was available close and had 8,600 miles on it. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna pull the trigger. For a 10-year-old bike that's only been ridden 850 miles every year, I think that's a pretty good option. Now, moving up the money tree, we've got I believe it is the Honda Rebel, which, in all honesty, if I had a few more dollars to spend, I probably would have got a Rebel 1100, as it's a great bike. It's got around 80 horsepower. And I'm not sure how many pound-feet of torque it's got, but it's up there. I think it's in the 60-ish range as well. But I love the way that those look. They're just a little bit more expensive. They're around $9,500 to right out the door $10,000, I believe. And you can get a dual clutch transmission in those as well. And then you have the more expensive options, which of course is going to be your Harley Davidson and your Indian. I think the Indian comes in at around $13,000. They're great bikes. They've got 105-ish horsepower, I believe, from a 1100cc motor as well. I've never ridden an Indian, but I know they look great. They've got that classic styling, and they sound great as well. Then you get to the most premium option, according to what the pricing says, which is your Sportster. Now, the older Sportster, it was something that I did not love particularly. I've ridden a couple of them. I've ridden an 883 and 1200. The 1200, it's not much to speak about. They have about, I think the old 1200 had around 80-ish horsepower. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it had around 80. The new Sportster apparently has around 121 horsepower. But again, its price tag is above $15,000. I think it's almost $16,000, or it is $16,000. I just don't think it warrants that type of a price tag. Even on the used market, the Harleys are more expensive than, so a comparative Harley Sportster 1200, let's say it's a 48, which is the one with the chubbier front tire and has a bobber look, more bobber look to it. I think those are around $7,000-$8,000. Whereas you can find a good one here, a good Yamaha Bolt for $4,000. You can ride it all day, every day. And the Harley, from what I remember, the throttle feel is a little wonky. The suspension is a little firm. This one's a little bit more comfortable than a Sportster. It's got a little bit more give to it, a little more, it's a little bit more supple. So if you're in the market for a cruiser, those are your options, really. I mean, there is the Honda Shadow. I can't really think of any other options. I'm not the most acquainted with the cruiser segment, though. This is my first cruiser. But I really like the Yamaha Bolt. It's not the fastest, it's not the loudest, it's not the prettiest, but it does everything you need it to do. I don't have much more to say about it other than it's a great bike. Give you guys a little bit of the view there. And I'm going to leave it at that this is the option that I would get if you want to just go with solid, reliable, you're not worried about power. Go ahead and get yourself a Yamaha Bolt, and I promise you're not going to be very disappointed if you're not worried about power. It's got plenty of acceleration to get you up and going as far as a motorcycle is concerned. It's even got enough power to take you on the freeway, but it's got the minimal amount of power to go on the freeway, in my opinion. You wouldn't want anything less. So keep that in mind. But it's a great around town cruise, around everywhere all day, easy to get on, easy to get off, easy to make a part of your daily commute. And it's the bike that I would particularly recommend for the money. And you can get the R-Spec, which is even better looking and has, I think, some suspension upgrades. But honestly, the standard one is just fine if you're looking for a used bike. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to leave your... Oh, there's a lot of dead raccoons out there. That was a trap. Someone's been trapping them. Feel free to leave your... Don't forget to leave your smile story in the comments below. And make sure that you make someone smile again today. This is the Barefoot German. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day.